Junkie here with a knife review on the Blade Runner's Alpha Beast. This knife was designed by Lucifer and Knifezoid of Blade Runner Systems and Matt Cook of Pinoy Steel. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. But before I get started, I'm just going to say this is my first knife review, so be gentle. But just so you have an idea of my knife knowledge, I'm just going to start off by saying that I've only flipped a Benchmade Model 42, Model 51, a Chimera, obviously the Alpha Beast, Nathan Dewey Fiend, and a Nathan Dewey Custom that I just recently got as well. So here's a look at the knife. I just got it about 2 weeks ago. It did come very sharp. I probably got, I think, about 5 cuts in 2 days, which is very abnormal for me. I usually probably cut myself once every other day with the same amount of flipping, so maybe I'm just adjusting to the knife still, or maybe it's just really fucking sharp. I don't know. Anyway, the handles are titanium, and I believe the blade steel is 440C, but don't quote me on that. I can't really remember. It does come with a latch. I took mine off because I find that when I'm fanning, just with how far I hold it down the handles, I hold it about there, the latch kind of catches in my palm, so I prefer my Balisong's latchless. See, no catch. Handles, I wish I had my 42 still to compare it to, but as far as my memory goes, it looks pretty fucking close. It's about the same, maybe a little bit thinner this way, but you know, about the same that way. It weighs, I think, somewhere in the 5.2 to 5.4 ounce range. Once again, I can't remember exactly. I think the 42 weighs about 4.4 ounces. So, I don't know, what's weird about this is it does weigh quite a bit more than the 42. You know, it weighs probably closer to the Chimera, but the thing is, it feels like you're flipping something as light as the 42. Just the way it's balanced and everything, and the weight distribution, it actually feels like you're flipping a lighter Balisong, but it still carries the momentum of a heavier knife, so it's really nice in that aspect. That's probably the main thing I've noticed as far as, you know, flipping goes. And I'll have a little bit of a really short flipping clip for you here at the end. But the chevrons, I've got some constructive criticism on that, but I'll get to that at the end. The chevrons are nice for figuring out where your fingers are at on the handle. I know people have mentioned that before, along with, you know, the little slot. I'm sure that wasn't its only purpose. It's probably to reduce weight and all that, but just really easy to judge where you're at on the handle with this knife, just because of the unique design. The tang is rounded, which is very nice. No horns, no anything, just completely smooth. Helps for like when you're doing rollovers, you don't feel it at all, which is great. I've had other knives that kind of just rub, you know, you can kind of feel it rub on you or even pinch sometimes, and this knife just has never pinched me at all, at least not that I can remember. Overall, the balance is really great. It doesn't seem blade heavy, it doesn't seem, you know, handle heavy. I could chaplain with this thing all day. I don't know, I really love this knife, and I recommend it to those of you that are kind of skeptical about spending money on a knife that hasn't had a very detailed review, you know, like Knifezoid or Calvination. I realize I'm not offering that sort of review because I don't know as much about it as far as the specs go and everything, but I'll just tell you now that for 380, or I think the second run is going for 400, it's definitely worth it. Without a doubt in my mind, I would buy another if I lost this one for whatever reason. So, great knife, great customer service too. When I got the Alpha Beast, I flipped it for a little while and noticed that one of the screws kept coming loose, and I couldn't figure out what was up with that. And after I figured out the problem, I sent a PM to Lucy on Jersey Devil and was telling him about it, and he said to have it mailed back to Matt, and he'd even pay for the shipping and everything, and have it fixed free of charge. So I mailed it to Matt, had it back within the week, so great customer service. I'm not really sure what else there is to say. I had something else. Maybe it'll come to me. I'll just keep rambling on, I guess. If I had some paper handy, I'd do a paper test, but I'm sure, judging by the electrical tape on my fingers, you can kind of tell that, you know, I'm not lying about it being sharp, so. Anyway, I guess I'll just wrap it up there. Can't really remember what else I was going to say about it, but maybe. Yeah, I got nothing. So, oh, constructive criticism. Okay. The only thing about this knife that I don't like. Oh, and before I get to that, sorry, I just got a million things that I keep coming up with. The rounded handles are, you know, see how it's kind of beveled on the edge? You can kind of see it if I shine the light on it. But the bevels make it really nice for doing fanning or just any sort of tricks where you're kind of rotating the knife in your hand. So, constructive criticism. I'll quit going off on a tangent here. It's kind of rough, not that way on the bevel or on the chevrons, but like this way. So when you're flipping, especially if you've got like an open cut, really I haven't noticed a problem unless I've got an open cut, but say you're a crazy motherfucker that gets like a 6-inch deep cut and you just keep flipping because you don't care. When you're doing rollovers and stuff that require the knife to like kind of, I don't know, the side of the handle or whatever to rub along that cut, it is kind of rough and it will catch and kind of tear it open. So yeah, I don't know, it's not really anything that affects the flipping at all. It's just kind of a comfort thing, not really necessary, but if you can find a way to smooth that out without, you know, losing any grip or anything, because if you've got to lose grip to do it, I say don't do it, just let them suffer. So but yeah, if you can find a way to keep the grip and have it not do that, then that'd be awesome. Bushing system, I haven't really been able to tell a difference, but it's also been a very long time since I flipped my 42, probably about 3.5, 4 months now. So if I had my 42, I'd be able to compare it and tell you what the differences are and everything, but I don't have it with me, so I can't really offer much input on the bushing system. But anyway, once again, I just recommend this knife. It cost me $380. The next runs are gonna cost about, I think, $400 because of the price of materials and stuff. It's a little more expensive than they had anticipated, I think. So the price will probably stick at around $400. There have been 2 runs that have been sold out so far. You can find them on the Jersey Devil. I'll have a link to that in my description. So I think I'll just wrap it up there. Great knife. If you consider yourself a dedicated flipper, just get one, no questions asked. They're fucking awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Here's a flipping video.